Plaintiff Edwin Winston dated the defendant for over 5 years, and he wanted to marry her, but he claims she is extremely violent. Edwin is suing because after the defendant started dating another man, she put all of Edwin's belongings on the street. Defendant Maisha Jones says Edwin is the violent one who bit her, hit her with belts, and belittled her in front of her children. Maisha claims she filed a restraining order against Edwin and gave him a month to retrieve his belongings, but he never came to get them. She's countersuing for harassment.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I dated Maisha for over 5 years, and throughout that 5 years, she ripped my shirt off of me. She threw things at me. I loved this woman. This was the woman I wanted to marry. This was the woman I loved and cared about, as well as I loved her kids.
So why did she do those things?
I don't have the slightest idea why.
You never asked? Somebody throw something at you, and what'd you say, rip your shirt off? You didn't say, why are you doing that? You want to ask her?
Why did you do that?
Your Honor, because he's out of control. He hit me. He mentally, verbally, and physically abused me. He belittled me in front of my kids. He would hit me with belts with his hand. He bit me in the side of my face. So I should have did more than that.
She's very clear, sir. You're the only one confused.
Yes.
Defendant Maisha Jones dated the plaintiff, but she claims she filed a restraining order against him because he beat her with belts, bit her, and belittled her in front of her children.
Go ahead. She's very clear as to why she did those things, and she sounds very honest about it. What else you want me to know about the relationship? How did you all break up, and why, and when?
We broke up because our relationship kind of went sour because she thought that I was cheating or something to that effect. I just felt that it was time to let go. It was time to, move forward.
When was that? When did you break up?
We broke up, it was this year.
Any particular part of the year?
It was like the 14th of February.
Okay, February, all right, of 2014. All right, good enough. Ma'am, you want to give me some background?
We broke up, Your Honor, because after that incident that he bit me in the face, the next day I came home from work and he wanted to argue, so I locked myself in my room. He took my son's basketball and started throwing it against the hallway door that it leads to my room. I felt like a prisoner in my own home.
What caused that incident specifically?
He's crazy. I am so serious. He is.
What did he allege you did wrong?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. He thought that I was messing around. All I do is go home. I come home from work, go to church, take care of my kids, and he wants to argue. So
you all lived together how long?
He said 5 years in his head, but it's only 2.5. So.
All right, tell me why you're suing her today.
The reason why I'm suing her today, Your Honor, is because she took my belongings and actually put it out on the curb of her house.
Give me the scenario. What happened?
She basically put my stuff out because she was seeing someone else. Somebody that was riding by actually had seen that she had all my stuff out on the curb and took pictures and actually presented.
Did you all have an argument before that?
Not to my understanding, sir.
So you just came home one day and your things were on the curb?
After she changed the locks.
And you say it was because she was dating someone else?
Seeing someone else.
And you don't think she could have just told you?
She didn't tell me.
She did tell you. It's just the way she told you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Change the locks and put your things out.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you usually break up with men?
No, Your Honor. Actually,
how do you usually break up?
With him, I had to get a PPO order. Then I set his stuff out, and I gave him a month to get his stuff off of my porch.
Give me the scenario of what happened, ma'am.
Okay.
He's very sketchy in his testimony, all during this case. Go ahead.
After the incident with him throwing the basketball against the door, after that, I got the PPO order.
And when was that?
That was February the 4th. So
all right, February 4th of
2014.
You had to get a PPO.
because of the bite in the face and the throwing of the ball.
And how did that incident begin, or how did that transpire?
Well, we got in an argument because apparently he thinks that I was sleeping around. Only in his head was that going on. But
is he getting high? You getting high?
No, sir.
All right, go ahead.
But he did drink, and I'm not a drinker. So, so he bit me on the side of my face. After that, with the incident of throwing the ball, my kids was downstairs, and he took it upon himself to take the basketball and throw it against the door. At that particular time, yes, I was scared, and I felt trapped in my own home. And for me to take back control of my life, I had to do something. And that's when I called the police. And the next day, I did the PPO order. And I gave him a month to get his stuff out of my house. He didn't want to do that. I put it on the front porch for 3 weeks to a month. But we broke up on the 14th, Your Honor. And I had my PPO on the 4th of February. I don't know how that could be.
Defendant Maisha Jones dated the plaintiff, but she claims she filed a restraining order against him because he beat her with belts, bit her, and belittled her in front of her children.
You have the PPO today, the personal protection order,
Yes,
so I
sir.
can see the date. And sir, when she put your things out, did she tell you to come and get them?
She told me I could come and get them.
Sir, you may win this case if you talk a little more. People are not allowed to put your things out. But she's saying she did it out of fear, and she has evidence that she was rightfully fearful of you because of the protection order that she had obtained on February 4th. And so you have to tell me something. What did you do? How soon after this did you try and get your items? What did you do to get your items?
I basically had spoke to the landlord and had told
When?
him, prior to her getting that paper.
She got this February 4th,
Yes, sir.
saying, personal protection order, don't come here, you can't come. What did you do thereafter?
I tried to consult with her about coming to get my stuff.
And what did she say?
And she was like, it's gonna be outside on the curb.
Okay. Ma'am, did you do that?
No, sir.
When did you put it out on the curb?
After it sat on my porch for about 3 weeks to a month, after that PP order was issued, as long as his stuff was at my house, he felt like he could come back to my house.
Did you tell him to come and get it?
I told him, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, Your Honor. Numerous of times, and he told my kids he didn't want that stuff. And then he told me he want half of my paycheck. How you want half of a single mother of 3 paycheck?
So
He
what were
should
you
be
doing
paying
those
me
3 or 4
$3,000.
weeks when she wouldn't allow you to get your things according to you?
Basically, sir, I was homeless.
No. In terms of trying to get your things, did you go to the police, file some type of report? I know they would have told you this is a civil claim, but did you go?
Yes, I did.
When?
I went like 3 weeks.
3 weeks later?
Yep.
No, Your Honor, he didn't. He did
Your
not.
counterclaim for $2,000 is harassment. How does he owe you, ma'am?
He calls my job every day. He calls,
Right now?
Yes. He text messaged me every other day. When we're at church, he'll text message me and say, oh, you look good today. Don't you supposed to be there serving the Lord, not looking at me?
How often does he call your job, you say?
At least every day or every other day, just
Since
to talk
when?
to me. Since that PP order been in effect, he don't care about
Since
that.
February 4th?
Yes, sir.
Sir, have
Yes,
you been
sir.
calling her?
I called her like a couple times, sir. a couple times. When I had talked to her, I had asked her, about my clothes or whatever. Oh, your stuff is out there on the curb.
You have a listed item, sir?
Yes, I do.
What were they, ma'am, the items that he had? He says $3,900 of property.
Well, Your Honor, when he came and stayed with me, all he had was clothes.
The shirt on his back?
Yes, sir.
And you ripped that off?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't have anything. Go ahead. So you should be embarrassed. How old are you?
Me, I'm 45.
Show me some doggone jerseys. I bet there better not be no tennis shoes in here. These your items, sir? Do you think this is $3,900 worth of clothes?
My jerseys are all up in there, Your Honor.
Your jerseys.
Your Honor, but if he have time enough to take pictures, why he ain't have time enough to pick that stuff up?
It's a good point, sir.
Sir, somebody took a picture.
That's a good point, sir.
Your Honor, somebody took the pictures and sent them to me.
Well, then that's when you should have went over there. You knew then. What happened to his things, ma'am? Where are they after you put them out like this?
Somebody came over and they would pick it through it, and I gave somebody a trash bag so they can get some rest of it.
So you have a television down here. I see no such television. Did he have a television there?
Yes, he did.
And he paid for it?
Somebody gave it to him. He didn't pay for it. He don't pay for nothing.
Sir, I'm not convinced of all these items costing $3,900. However, ma'am, that was an illegal eviction. 3 weeks is not enough time to set someone's things out. I'm gonna grant him a judgment, but only for $2,000, sir. That's not $3,900 worth of clothing. And I will grant you your counterclaim for harassment for $2,000. You had to get a protection order against him. You had to get all these other things. So $2,000 for you, $2,000 for you. Good luck to you both. Have a good day.
I'm glad it's over with. Never again would I be with him.
Don't deal with her. That's all I have to say.
Trying to get your criminal record expunged and don't know where to start? Go to my website, askjudgemathis.com, to get all the help you need.